Well, we started off the night by playing pool. They have one pool table in the back of the bar. Ricky and maybe another coworker of ours was playing with him. I wasn't playing, but Ricky and someone else were playing. And Cedric Richmond and some of his friends, I didn't know who he was at the time, but these guys approached Ricky about playing pool, and Ricky said, you know, that he wasn't going to give them the pool table. He would have to win it from him, you know, normal pool hall rules. So Ricky played a game against Cedric, and Ricky beat him several times, and so Ricky wouldn't give up the table, which I think made Cedric a little upset. And I proceeded to buy shots for everyone, you know, Ricky and Cedric and all of his friends, just to kind of, you know, ease the situation, you know, let's have fun, let's have shots, you know. So we were drinking together, everything was fine. They finished playing pool and everybody had moved towards the bar, and I approached Cedric because he was wearing a white polo shirt that had a state of Louisiana seal on it. And so I asked him, I said, so do you work for the state? And he said, no, I don't work for the state. I said, well, you're wearing a state of Louisiana shirt. I mean, that's a state of Louisiana seal. I said, you obviously work for the state. What do you do for the state? And he said, I don't work for the state. State works for me. And I just couldn't get a straight answer out of him, and it was a serious question. I was just curious, you know, what do you do for the state? And it was almost like he was getting upset, and he said, you know, I don't work for the state. State works for me. So I gave up by that point. You know, I wasn't going to push it anymore, and Ricky came up and noticed that Cedric was getting, you know, kind of aggressive about his answer. And so that's when Ricky said, whoa, you know, you're talking to my girlfriend. Don't talk to my girlfriend like that. And he put his hand on Cedric's shoulder. He said, you know, like, whoa, you don't need to calm down. You know, it's my girlfriend. You're talking to a girl. You know, you don't need to get like that. And Cedric didn't like that very much, and kind of pushed Ricky's hand off. And then the conversation shifted from between Cedric and I to between Ricky and Cedric, and basically Ricky was just trying to calm Cedric down. You know, he was getting so worked up. I don't know if he was still upset because, you know, the people I was with had just beat him at pool. I mean, I thought everything was fine. I just bought the man a shot. You know, I was trying to be friendly, just trying to find out what he did for the state, you know. And so Ricky and Cedric began their altercation. So Ricky, I guess, did first put his hand on Cedric's shoulder in a very calm way, just like, hey buddy, you know, you don't need to talk to my girlfriend like that. And Cedric kind of pushed him away, and I don't recall what was said next. I just know that it got heated between the two of them, all because Ricky was just trying to defend me. I just, in a very calm manner, I kept asking the same question, like, you obviously work for the state, you know, what do you do for the state? I don't work for the state. State works for me. State works for me. It's just aggressive in the fact that he was in my face. He was raising his voice. He didn't put his hands on me. He just got, you know, very close to me, was pointing at me and in my face. And you know, that's when Ricky stepped in and just told him to back off, you know, to just get out of my face. You don't need to talk to a girl like that. Cedric was getting aggressive with me for no reason. I mean, I was simply asking the man what he did for the state, you know. It was an honest question. If he was, you know, come to find out later he was a representative from New Orleans, cool. I wanted to talk to him about that, you know. It was a genuine question, and I don't know why it upset him so much, but, you know, he just got really defensive about it. Like, I don't work for the state. State works for me. State works for me. The way that he reacted to me was totally unwarranted. You know, it was an innocent line of questioning, and for some reason it turned bad. And one of the Uncle Earl's employees kind of jumped in and was like, whoa, you know, it was obviously about to turn ugly. And so he jumped in and he pulled Ricky outside and just to stop it. And Cedric came outside and just continued to run his mouth. Ricky called the police. Ricky called the police. Because I remember when the police came and Ricky was trying to, you know, press charges and file a report, you know, because Cedric was the one who, you know, got aggressive with him inside the bar and was pushing him inside the bar. So Ricky called the cops. So we were just sitting aside, we were waiting for the cops to come. Cedric and his friends come outside, and then they keep running their mouth, and I think Ricky went back, and the employees just kept trying to separate them. And I remember Cedric like walking out onto Perkins, like right up to Perkins Road, just running his mouth. I wish I could remember what was said. I don't remember the details. But we were waiting for the cops at this point. The cops show up, they get our statement, they get Cedric's statement, and they basically tell Ricky that they're both going to be cited for the same ticket, you know, that they're both going to get a ticket for public disturbance, whatever it was. But Cedric was the first person to lay any hands on Ricky, you know, in an aggressive way, and yet they both got the same ticket. For when we found out after the fact, when we found out what he actually did for the state, that he was a representative for New Orleans, it just really bothered both of us that somebody who represents a city in our state can go out and act that way in public, you know? If something like that happens between two everyday normal citizens, then you know what, you write it off as they were drunk, shit happens. But when you're a representative of the state, you're supposed to hold yourself to a higher standard. You know, you're not supposed to get involved in things like that. You're not supposed to get involved in a fight over nothing with the people you represent. And the fact that he's a politician doesn't mean that, you know, you can just get away with those things. So we were dead set on pushing the issue and pressing charges. You know, Cedric was the one who got aggressive with us in the first place. You know, he should pay consequences for that. So Ricky got a lawyer. And well, he went to court, you know, for that first court appearance for the public disturbance ticket. And Cedric got the same court date. He should have been there at the same time, same courthouse. They should have seen each other. Well, we show up for Ricky, and Cedric's nowhere to be found. We ask, you know, we're looking through the docket where we see Ricky's name and can't find Cedric Richmond anywhere in there. So he wasn't going to show up to court that day. So, you know, that further pissed him off, and we run into a lawyer in the courthouse. I can't remember his name, something Knight maybe. So we were talking to this lawyer about the situation, you know, and that, is that wrong that Cedric Richmond isn't here today? Like, shouldn't that, is that a problem? Does that mean that this has been brushed under the rug for him, that he just, you know, gets a free ticket out of this? And come to find out, there was no record of this on Cedric Richmond's record. He wasn't, you know, it was as if it hadn't happened. No explanation. It was just, you know, just gone. And so the lawyer said, like, let's press charges and let's take this to court and let's make him come in. If we press charges, the lawyer said, like, if we press charges against him, then basically he's subpoenaed and he's gonna have to come to court for this, which he never did. No, I don't think he would represent our state well in Washington, D.C. I would be embarrassed if somebody like that were my representative to Washington. No way, no way.